it's Melanie. Welcome to my channel. So today I've got my May book haul for you, so stay tuned. So I have 19 different things to show you here, so I'm just gonna get right into it. So the first books that I'm gonna show you are books that were sent to me or that I got free from something. So the first book that I have here is The Sweet Spot by Heather Heyford. And I got this from a Goodreads giveaway. And it says, "Welcome to Rubin Ridge, Oregon, a small town steeped in history and graced with verdant valleys. In the first book of Heather Heyford's newest series, a family-run vineyard is the perfect place to find yourself and lose your heart. A summer friendship ripens into something more. The vineyards at Rubin Ridge is about as far away from the big city as Philadelphia music teacher Jamie Martell can get, and it's the perfect place for her to forget her troubles for a while. But can a dream vacation turn into her real life? When she's offered a summer job at the lush Oregon vineyard, she decides it's time to find out. Hank Freistadt took over the vineyard when his parents passed. Committed to keeping their legacy alive, he's poured his heart and soul into the family business. With things back on track, he's torn between tradition and a tempting opportunity to cut and run. Yet something about down-to-earth Jamie is making him question his plans. As the grapes are harvested and the leaves start to turn, Hank vows to keep the promises he made. Saying goodbye to Jamie, however, may be a lot harder than he thought." And it just sounded like a cute, light, contemporary romance. Next is Night Scream Journeys Book 1, Testament of Feats by K.H. Jones. And this was sent to me by the author. Oh, I just realized that he wrote in it. He wrote, "Melanie, wishing you health and success. Enjoy the book. Warmest regards, K.H. Holmes." Aww. So he sent me this, and as far as I know, it's not for sale yet, but he just wanted my thoughts on it before, I guess, final printing or whatever, and yeah, so I thought that was really neat. So let me read you what it says. "A vigilante cursed to be unseen and forgotten. Night Scream collects blood debts as jaw for the Dogs clan. When fellow ranger Warhol disappears, Scream roams into unfamiliar territory to seek answers. He finds the lost survivors of the destroyed Ravens clan, as well as the death cult Bones clan practicing horrific rites. Neither explains Warhol's absence or the dark forces assaulting Scream at every turn." And there is a little quote on the back as well, and it says, "There was a time on the earth when the ancient and the new strived against each other, when the seen world and the unseen world were not strange to each other, when good and evil were not so clearly divided, and when a stained hero walked the land." And it sounded really interesting to me. The only thing that I'm worried about with this is getting caught up on the names, because they're not traditional names. But I'm looking forward to reading it for him. Next up is Burrow Hills by Julia Lynn Rubin. And this is another one that I won from a Goodreads giveaway. And this is an ARC. Oh, but it looks like it actually came out in March, but they sent me the ARC. And this is a male-male romance. It's about a guy named Jack Burns who is ready to like escape Burrow Hills. He wants to get out of there as quickly as possible, and he's tired of living his life the way he is. And then this new boy shows up named Connor, and Jack can't help but be just captivated by him. And they kind of balance each other out, where it says Connor challenges him to see that liberation comes from accepting and trusting his nature, while Jack helps ground Connor and the dark energy that drives his free spirit. But their relationship will set into motion a series of events that have lasting consequences, jeopardizing Jack's budding romance with Connor and the life he's tried so hard to salvage in Burrow Hills. And it's a really small book. It's like 238 pages, so I think this will go really, really quickly. Next is another Goodreads giveaway that I won, and that is Smothered by Chiklis. And this book very much made me think of me and Becca. So it says, a humorous debut crossover young adult novel about what happens when entering the real world means moving back in with your mother, inspired by actress and celebrity Autumn Chiklis' real life. Eloise Lou Hansen is graduating from Columbia University, summa cum laude, and she's ready to conquer the world. Just a few minor problems. She has no job, no prospects, and she's moving back into her childhood bedroom. Lou is grimly determined to stick to a rigorous schedule to get a job and get out of her parents' house. Shelley, Mama Shell, Hansen, on the other hand, is ecstatic and just as determined to keep her at home. Who else will help her hide her latest binge shopping purchases from her husband, go to Soul Cycle with her, and hold her hand during Botox shots? Smothered is a hilarious Roma clef told via journal entries, text messages, emails, bills, receipts, tweets, doctor's prescriptions, job applications and rejections, parking tickets, and pug pictures, chronicling the year that Lou moves back home after college. Told from Lou's point of view, Smothered tells the story of two youngish women just trying to get it right and learning that just because we all grow up doesn't mean we necessarily have to grow old. After all, what is Juvederm for? And I just thought that sounded so cute. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. I may actually take this with me on my cruise this summer because it sounds so good. So the next three things are actually comic books, and they're free comic books that I got from Free Comic Book Day. And we went to the library where they were doing it, but also to the comic book store. And I got Serenity Firefly Class 03K64, also featuring Hellboy and aliens. And I got Riverdale. And I got another Riverdale, which I've never actually watched the show Riverdale, but I've kind of wanted to because it's Archie comics, and I actually do remember reading Archie comics as a kid. So so this goes into the next set of books that I have. These are books that I have purchased. So while I was at the comic book store, I actually bought 2 new graphic novels. So the first one that I got is called Fables, Legends in Exile, and this is volume 1. And from what I gather, this graphic novel series is about fairy tale retellings. So this one says, who killed Rose Red? In Fabletown, where fairy tale legends live alongside regular New Yorkers, the question is all anyone can talk about. But only the big bad wolf can actually solve the case. And along with Rose's sister, Snow White, keep the Fabletown community from coming apart at the seams. And it doesn't look like the other graphic novels that I've read. It's very, like, I don't know, like old school newspaper kind of comics. I don't know. That's just the feel that I get from it. But I like the concept a lot. So that's why I wanted to try this one out. Because I'm trying to branch out to find some graphic novels that I might enjoy. Because I don't really know anything about graphic novels. And I want to find some that I think would be fun to read. Okay, the next one I got is called Morning Glories, Volume 1. And this is like a thriller type. It says, Morning Glory Academy. One of the most prestigious prep schools in the country, but behind its hollowed doors, something sinister and deadly lurks. When 6 brilliant but troubled new students arrive, they find themselves trapped and desperately seeking answers. An escape from a place where nothing is what it seems to be. And I don't know, I was flipping through it. It seemed very intense. Oh my gosh, like I just opened it up to this and we got somebody like carving somebody open. Yeah, it's very, I don't know, we'll see. But I thought, you know, thriller and like actual people and things like that, it might, I don't know, I might be able to get into it. But I just got the first one of these because I wanted to just kind of get an idea. And they were on sale because everything in the comic book store was on sale for Free Comic Book Day. So they were like 20% off. Also, I ordered from Amazon, I ordered Giant Days Volume 1. And this was based on a recommendation from a friend of mine. So I thought I would check it out. This one says, Susan, Esther, and Daisy started at university 3 weeks ago and became fast friends. Now away from home for the first time, all three want to reinvent themselves. But in the face of hand-wringing boys, personal experimentation, influenza, mystery mold, new chauvinism, and the willful unwanted intrusion of academia, they may be lucky just to make it to spring alive. Going off to university is always a time of change and growth, but for Esther, Susan, and Daisy, things are about to get a little weird. And it was about these three girls going off to college, and again, I thought it sounded like something I could maybe get into, but we shall see. Sorry if there's an angle change, but my battery died, so... Also from Amazon, I ordered Unseen by Stephanie Erickson. And this is the first book in the Unseen trilogy, which Marty and I have listened to. At this point, we've listened to the first 2 books in this trilogy and have really enjoyed it. So I bought the first book because Dana was getting into the story, but he was only hearing bits and pieces and he wanted to actually read it. So I purchased the first book. And from Thrift Books, I bought Autumn by David Moody. And this says, a bastard hybrid of War of the Worlds and Night of the Living Dead, Autumn chronicles the struggle of a small group of survivors forced to contend with a world torn apart by a deadly disease. After 99% of the population of the planet is killed in less than 24 hours, for the very few who have managed to stay alive, things are about to get much worse. Animated by Phase 2 of some unknown contagion, the dead begin to rise. At first slow, blind, dumb, and lumbering, quickly the bodies regain their most basic senses and abilities, sight, hearing, locomotion, as well as the instinct toward aggression and violence. Held back only by the restraints of their rapidly decomposing flesh, the dead seem to have only one single goal, to lumber forth and destroy the sole remaining attraction in the silent, lifeless world, those who have survived the plague, who now find themselves outnumbered 1,000,000 to 1. It says David Moody used to give his books away for free. This unconventional marketing approach resulted in the film rights to his first novel, Hater, being sold to Guillermo del Toro, director of Hellboy and Pan's Labyrinth, and Mark Johnson, producer of the Chronicles of Narnia series. Autumn was also adapted for the big screen and is currently available on DVD. I didn't know that. But that's pretty cool. So I could actually go and watch it after reading it. And I actually got the second book for this as well, but I got it in a book outlet haul. Okay, so all of the rest of the books I have here are from subscription boxes. So the first 3 things came from my book hookup from the Strand, and it actually came with 2 books and a magazine. So the magazine that it came with was this one, which is A Woman's Thing, and this is the memory issue. And I haven't really looked into it, but there's like different articles, different like art stuff. Oh, there's like poetry in here, all kinds of cool stuff. It's like a $9 value for this magazine, but it came in my box. Also, I got a paperback of Monster by Walter Dean Myers. And I think that this is based on a true story, but I'm not 100% sure. I'd actually have to look that up. But it says, Steve Harmon's black. He's in jail, maybe forever. He's on trial for murder and he's 16 years old. Fade in, interior. Early morning in cell block D, Manhattan Detention Center. Steve voiceover. Sometimes I feel like I've walked into the middle of a movie. Maybe I can make my own movie. The film will be the story of my life. No, not my life, but of this experience. I'll call it what the lady prosecutor called me. Monster. And there's a blurb here from Publishers Weekly, and it says, this riveting courtroom drama will leave a powerful, haunting impression, an insightful look at a teenage suspect's lost innocence. And it kind of goes between things like written journal entries to like a script. I don't know if there's other things like that in here, but yeah, it kind of goes back and forth between that. And there's also images that I've seen. So this is kind of why it makes me think that maybe it is a true story. Like him sitting in the cell. So, I don't know. But it sounded really interesting. And then the main book that was in that box is a signed copy of Tyler Johnson Was Here by J. Coles. So this is about a boy named Tyler Johnson who is killed by a police officer, and kind of what his family, including his twin brother Marvin, have to kind of go through after this. And it's a heartbreaking look into police brutality and the current race relations in America today. Okay, so next is a book that came, I believe, in Xander's March Al Crate Jr. box, but it just hasn't gotten hauled yet. And that is Granted by John David Anderson. So this is about a fairy named Ophelia who is given her first mission to go out and grant wishes. And unfortunately, it doesn't turn out the way she planned. And it just sounded like a super cute little story. So the next two books also came in an Al Crate Jr. box. And this is from Xander's April box. And it had an extra book, which was Ken Jennings' Junior Genius Guides to Greek Mythology. And Ken Jennings is like the Jeopardy champion guy. But yeah, it's just like supposed to be written in a way that little kids can kind of understand. I think Xander will enjoy that. And it came along with the main book, which was Arusha Ha and the End of Time by Roshani Chokshi. And this is about a little girl named Arusha Ha who has told one too many lies to her friends, and they decide to bust her on them. And one of the stories that she told, which she didn't think was a true story, actually was true, and she ends up lighting this lamp that ends up waking up this ancient demon, which is the god of destruction. And so they have some fixing to do. And it sounded very interesting. And I believe this is all based on Indian mythology. And then the last book that I have here was in my April Al Crate box, and that was Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody. And this is about a girl named N whose mother goes missing, and N has to drop out of her finishing school and go to the City of Sin, which no lady should go to, and search for her mother. And she's got to do it without becoming corrupted by all the flash and glamour of the City of Sin. And that is what this one's about. Okay, so have you read any of these books? Did you like them? Did you not? Comment down below and let me know. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, bye!